Human beings understand new ideas through storytelling, and a policy has to exist in the imagination of a citizen before it can exist in our laws. When I was leaving the White House, there was still so much that we needed to do, but it needed some cultural scaffolding first. It needed some architecture first, and the way we would do that is by telling stories. So I started working in the White House in 2013. It's such a fascinating experience. You are so in touch with the fact that it is time-based, that you are participating in history that is unfolding. So I got to work with all sorts of young people of color, women. It was not an uncommon thing to be in a decision-level meeting and have it be mostly women, mostly people of color. And that was unprecedented. It was the most profound honor of my life. I grew up in a small suburb outside of Columbus, Ohio. And, you know, in so many ways, it was an idyllic way to grow up. It was an ideal place other than the glaring exception that it was predominantly white. And that feeling of cultural and racial isolation was a pretty profound experience of my childhood. I'd be out with my mom, and my mom tells me stories that people would ask her if we were adopted, you know, where did she get us? And she, you know, there was just like no framework for having a multiracial family. I was constantly constructing my own identity because I didn't see it reflected in my surroundings. I didn't know what a production company was when I worked in the White House. I would have bet every penny I'd ever even seen that the fortune teller who said 3 years you're gonna have a production company, I would have bet against it. We really specialize at is storytelling at the intersection of pop culture and politics. I think sometimes our politics is over here and our culture is over here. We're living at the moment where both are synonymous, and we bring so much expertise to really talking about that overlap. The most important thing if you're contemplating going through a transition, whether you know it or not. When I left the White House, I didn't know what I would do next exactly, but I didn't know when I started my transition what the result would be. I am a type A, overachieving, loves to be right, wants a 10-year plan type of human being. But the reality is, I wouldn't have been able to get myself here if I'd stuck to that, if I'd been too rigid in my thinking. Our imagination is the thing that makes us humans. It is our best asset. Allow yourself to engage your imagination on your own behalf and be open to the idea that you don't know and will not know when you begin what the outcome will be. But I think just having confidence in your own ability and your own resilience to work it out or figure it out, to dream big, even when you don't know what that dream is yet. If you can push yourself into that space, it will always serve you well.